The time right now is 7:38, and in this morning's Virginia at Work, we're talking about the best way to ask for a pay raise. It can be nerve-wracking. Sometimes employees feel they'll get a raise, no doubt, only to be turned down. Other times, people go years knowing they deserve a raise, but never building up the courage to ask for one. So when is the best time, and how should you ask? Lynda Mcnutt Foster joining me now live to discuss. Lynda, when is the best time basically to ask for a pay raise?
The best time is absolutely when you start the job.
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah, that's your starting point. So if you're getting a job, it's the most important thing to be able to negotiate effectively the starting pay, what the compensation is from the very beginning, because it's difficult to make a huge jump. It's much easier to make incremental jumps. The best time once you're on the job is to look for the timing, when you've hit something out of the ballpark, when you've delivered results for something, and the organization you can tell is growing, taking on more people, and having profits. Those are the best times.
So if you have a person who feels that at that point in time they don't deserve a pay raise, they need one, but they don't deserve one, what steps should they take in order to get to the point where, okay, now it's time, I've done enough, I can ask?
Yes, and here's what I would absolutely say is that most people feel the opposite way. They feel like they've worked really hard, they're underappreciated, and they deserve a raise. So some of the things you want to do is make sure you've earned it.
Yeah.
Make sure you're tracking, because you want to make sure that you've measured what you've done and the impact. Take on more responsibilities. So some people say, the people that get raises, move fast in their career, aren't going, well, you don't pay me to do this. This isn't my job. They actually do extra things to be able to prove that they could do the job effectively that you're going to promote them to or give them a raise for. Also, be sure to ask at the right time. So you should be taking a pulse on the organization, on your boss, things like that, and make sure that it's the right time to be able to ask. And check your salary. You can go to Glassdoor.com now. You can look at other people online to find other people's salaries so that you know whether or not yours is commensurate with other people's in the field.
So now a lot of people, they hear no. Should that be the end of the conversation? Do you stop there?
That's the beginning of the conversation, right? It's like in sales.
Okay.
I mean, what you're doing is selling. You're always selling. So the beginning of the conversation, if you hear no, is, hey, what would constitute a raise? What kind of problem could I solve or be solving for the organization that would increase my value? You don't want to complain or whine. You definitely don't want to ask via an email. You don't want to ask at a stressful time, and you don't want to throw out your target number without some basis for what that is. And it really is based on what level of problem you're solving. CEOs make the most amount of money because they solve the hardest problem. So determine that first.
Okay, so there's a lot that goes into it, but it sounds like, I mean, be confident, but make sure that if you are being confident, that you're doing the work.
Yeah, it's not just being confident, it's absolutely that, because it's kind of scary to go into your boss and ask for more than what the 3% they were going to give you, or the 2%, or whatever that is. But it's also important to be competent. Do your research ahead of time. Know what other people in your industry for that position are making. Are you exceeding what they're expecting of you already?
Wow. It's a conversation we could have for hours.
Yes.
Lynda, thank you.